the flow in. So when we moved from the SITA system, that is why we're ready at 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, because we gave the deadline of 8 o'clock to have everything. So last night, we met with all our district officials, all the engineers, all the technicians, and everything was ready to be then dumped into this cellular phone company servers. So this morning I got a call around 2 a.m. that indeed that loading was successful, everything was successful except what you call coordinates. Coordinates, it's your addresses, GIS addresses. So everything was functional, but the GIS addresses were not correct. But I was advised that we can go live at 8 with it. My sixth sense felt that I don't think that's what I want to risk. So I gave them an extra time to sort out that element of the coordinates. And they came back to indicate that the coordinates functions. The only limitation is what you call ranges, which simply means if you need school X, instead of giving you 5-kilometer radius, it was giving you more than 10 kilometers radius. So it was no longer the schools that are closer to you. And that was 5 to 8. I then took a conscious decision again to delay the entire process with 2 hours so that we can sort out that problem. And I'm glad that I took that decision, because when we went back then to sort out the problems, we found out that not all townships are promulgated, which simply means that not all townships have addresses. And that the number of informal settlements that don't have addresses, it was going to disadvantage them in logging in. Hence, the 10 o'clock deadline could not be met, because we needed then to drop all the coordinates and use reliable coordinates to say you don't need to have an address to get a school. You then have to apply through the name of the school. So and that decision meant that the entire software needed to be reprogrammed. And that was almost 9:30. We are approaching 10 o'clock. And that's what I said to South Africans, that by 10 o'clock we'll go live. So at 9:30, I had to swallow my pride and say, reprogram the entire system so that we don't disadvantage this group of people that don't have addresses, this group of people that don't have closer schools that they can pick up. So by exactly 1 o'clock, the system was back where we wanted to be. That is, when you put your home address, it will give you all the schools that are closer to you, which simply means that we are no longer using the address of parents. We are using the school that is closer to the parents. So if I'm in Dobsonville, for example, and I'm in Zone 1, when I punch the name of the school that is in Zone 1, then it will pop up, and then it will then take your application. So what is the IECs going through difficulties of proof of address? We had to bypass it and ensure that we use the names of our schools and people can apply through the names of our schools. So on that basis, the system came back online. And when it came back online, it allowed us now to fiddle with it to do whatever that it wants to do. And that is why I am saying we've convened this media briefing to provide you with that update on the online system. And I want to take this opportunity to humble ourselves and apologize to the people of Gauteng and South Africa at large for this delay. As I indicated, this was a major technical delay, a software and re-engineering process, the need for us to have the GPS coordinates right, and for need to ensure that we've got the right school. So for that, we had to shut down, reprogram, and test the system and ensure that we come with the use of schools as an alternate to to those that don't have addresses. So I'm excited to announce that the website will now formally go live exactly at 14:30 today. And we anticipate it will be in a position to handle a capacity of 20,000 logs per second, and it will allow all parents that want to register their children. I must also forewarn that there might be some teething problems, but the capacity, the functionality, it's there. There are 3 areas that I want to also apologize because they also delayed the 10 o'clock announcement. We have parents that are blind, but their children go to normal school. So we needed also to program so that we can use Braille for them to apply. Because this was going to drag the deadline further than the 2:30 that I have now. I had no choice but to apologize to parents that are blind, that I'll meet with them and will prioritize them in loading their details in the system. Because if we had to change and put the Braille component of it, it was going to drag the deadline beyond where we are. You will see when you log in, it says children with special needs don't have to apply. But here it's not children, it's their parents. So the children need to get into the system, and parents might not have the capability to log on. So the first come, first serve rule, we are now relinquishing that rule. So it's no longer saying, I'm the first one to log in, therefore I'll be the first one to be placed. We are reverting back to what we are calling waiting list A and waiting list B. So all those people that are in waiting list A, which simply means that we have applied at a school that is close to you, we are assuring you all of you will be automatically admitted to a school of choice. On the basis that you stay within the 5-kilometer radius of that school, and that indeed you qualify to be in that school in terms of language and all other things that need to be done in that particular school. So those that are on waiting list B, after we've accommodated those that are on waiting list A, will then migrate those on waiting list B to A if there's still space. If not, we'll give you the second choice or your third choice. So it's no longer the person that logs first now get the space. It's the person that is on waiting list A that will get the space on the basis of the address that they have, or both the work address, the home address, or your sibling is in that school. You will automatically get your space there, and then if there is still an opening, we'll then put you in waiting. So all parents therefore can apply anytime. They don't have to apply now at 2:30. You can apply anytime, but by midnight, the 1st of June, 2016, if you apply after that, unfortunately, we'll automatically place you on the waiting list. So all parents have between now, that is today, the 19th of April 2016, to the 1st of June 2016, to ensure that they apply and they'll be in a position to be accommodated. So the placement of learners. So what you will do, you'll see when you load your details as parents, we choose all the schools. It will have a column that say pending outcome. It will say pending, where we confirm you. We'll confirm you between the 24th of June until the 25th of July. That pending will convert into successful, or if we have taken the second choice, it will then confirm the second choice or the third choice. So between that period, all our parents will be in a position to attend to the issues that they need to deal with. I know there have been concerns about parents that don't have internet connectivity. We've asked all our community libraries. There's no community without a library. So we've asked all our libraries around the country now to come on board, and thanks, they've agreed. We've also requested our schools and our district offices to develop what we call help desk, so that we can in a position to accommodate all the people that we needed to accommodate. And all our municipalities have got free Wi-Fi zones, so we'll encourage people also to go to the free Wi-Fi zones and they can connect from their smartphones. So once more, I would like to urge all parents. I know there are parents that queued outside schools. Others threatened to go and queue outside some of the schools this evening. And there are others that you will never find an application form in any of our schools. So it's not advisable for you to go and queue because those particular forms will not come to us. But if you feel that that's the best option, I'm not going to restrict you. But the reality is that if you queue outside the schools don't have forms. The school will only give you a checklist to say, check this is available. So I'm urging all parents that let's go online. The pain might be too much now. The frustrations might be heavy, but the future looks bright. I can smell it. I can touch the future. And the frustrations will be the last call where we are frustrated. Future parents will have an excitement when this system is online. Remember, we are the first province to go this particular route, and I don't regret. It's very important. It will assist us for planning, and it will ensure that in the final analysis, the interest of our learners come first, and we'll be in a position to serve them better and deal with all the other issues. But it also allows us to have what we call equitable access to our schools, because all our schools belongs to all our children. They don't belong to the privileged few. All our schools belongs to all our children. So we'll have an equitable share. We'll have a high level of access. We'll ensure that there's no child that is denied access in our school premises purely because they were born at the wrong area. So we are quite convinced, we are quite committed, and I'm proud that we'll deal with all the issues that we want to deal with. I'm quite aware that there are people that want to take me to court purely because they believe the system was not functional and purely because they believe that their privileges will be compromised. My message is very simple. Bring it on. I'm ready for you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks, Amisi. Can I then see indications for questions? We'll start with 1, 2, 3. Yes, you start. Please introduce yourself. And
my name is Panyaza Lesufi from HC. I have 1 or 2 questions.
Feel free.
I've heard from some parents in areas like this who say that they have absolutely no idea that this online system was the only way they could apply for their children's registration in next year. And so, from your side, what are you doing to make sure that all parents, of course, all schools, of course, it might not be from your side, maybe some principals or schools that have not communicated the message properly, but what are you doing from your department to make sure that everyone knows? Also, can you give us the name, if you can, of the Celsi company that you approached and which is helping you now? And also, there are some parents right now downstairs who are angry, frustrated. They are here, they've made their way from wherever they came from. They say they are going to get fired from work. They're frustrated, they've tried all they can, and they're not receiving any help. What would you say to the parents down there?
okay. Second, yeah.
Putting in a school in Parktown? Like, how would that process be? How will you verify as parents live close to the school addresses that they're putting into the system if they don't have addresses themselves?
Okay. Catherine?
Hi, yes, Catherine Paul from the Times. Just clarify what you said is everyone who works and lives 5 days from the school, that has a living there, will be on waiting list and will be there. There are certain schools that have a limited 40% of class. Now they're all going to get it. Are you going to have 70% class? Are you going to turn away no one? What about fire regulations? You can't overcrowd schools. Are you going to start building schools that are overcrowded? And your own regulation allows for waiting lists. So how do you influence that?
Okay. Let me see.
Okay, let me start with the deep sleuth part. As I said, it's no longer first come, first serve. So we still have between now and June to ensure that those that don't have access, we can provide additional access. On top of libraries, community centers, using the free Wi-Fi. And instead of them not getting the information, over the weekend we went on a publicity in all major newspapers and radio stations to notify them. And I think the message will arrive and they will be aware. Parents that are down there that are frustrated, I share their frustration. I will be frustrated as well. I share their frustration. But one thing for sure, I'm doing this for the good of the country and their children. I'm not doing this for financial benefit on my side or for the department to look good. I'm doing this so that no one will be further frustrated as from today, so that we can solve this problem once and for all. They might not be aware. Every year they bring their children and their children have to sit on top of a paraffin tin because there's no desk. I mean, there's some schools they're teaching learners inside the bus because the classes were full. So I have to address those things. I can't be cold-hearted and just say they're not my children and therefore I don't care. I care about every child, and therefore it's very important that I rectify this particular matter. Verification of address. Remember, with or without address, before the school accepts you, you still have 14 days to go to a school to give them evidence that indeed you stay there. So it does not mean that people will cheat the system on the basis. So the schools still have the right to verify. And those, as you say, if more people go to one school and there's a waiting list, that's the list because we click 3 schools within your area. So if school A is full, we'll then tell you go to school B. If school B is full, we'll go to school 3. That's why we want you to choose 3 schools, so that you have first choice, second choice, and third choice. So we'll be in a position to accommodate whoever that you need to. But that's the purpose of the system, to say Bryanston High is overloaded. Can you get additional mobile classrooms in that school? Unless getting this information at the beginning of the year, we can't. So the purpose is for us to eliminate challenges where schools are either overcrowded or majority of parents wants to go to that particular school. So I'm really excited that we'll be in a position to deal with the issues that we want to attend. So it will attend also to issue of overcrowding as well.
Okay, 3 hands this side. We'll come back. Are there any indication to ask questions? No.
All right, live from that briefing with the Gauteng Education MEC Panyaza Lesufi. He was really standing firm there, saying that the reason they have put this system in place is purely to relieve the stress of the parents, that every year they get numbers of parents with their children struggling to register for schools. So he says this has been put in place simply to ensure that every child gets registered, gets put into a schooling system. He went through just explaining all the delays. Of course, that online registration platform became available on the 11th of April, but then experienced its first crash, and that was simply due to the number of people logging on. They got 6,000 hits per second. He says that now the software has been updated to ensure that
all of you are still using a TDK cassette to play music. You are living in an old age and Stone Age era. I don't want to live in a Stone Age era. I want to live in the future. And the future is paperless. The future is that parents don't have to lose their time at work to come and just hand over a form. Remember, people queue to hand over a form. They don't. So that is why sometimes I'm shocked for those people to say handing over a form is better than signing online. It does not mean that when you hand over a form, you are told there and then that they've been accepted. And majority of those forms get lost. We get situation where people say the forms were at the back of a van. When we're driving, those forms flew. So I'm confident about the future. I really believe that's where we need to go. I really believe that you don't have to be at the gate of the school for you to determine whether you can be in that school or not. And this is part of our bigger picture. All the parents in future will be in a position to log to ensure that their children are there, whether their children are passing what. So it's a bigger picture of ensuring that ICT becomes part of our schooling environment in Gauteng. So just to answer you simply, paper is history. Paperless is the future.
Hi, today we see Peter from Houston. I just want to point out, in January you said that in the Johannesburg and Tshwane regions, around 10,400 children were not placed at schools. I just want to find out, have these children since been placed, and if, then how? Like, how would that be?
Well, that's the reason why I'm insisting on the system, because of the 10,000, we had duplicates. You find that one parent applied at 3 different districts. For example, those that are in Centurion, they'll go to Pretoria and come to Johannesburg because they are closer to them. And we'll count as 3 parents, only to find is 1 parent. Then we rush to buy huge mobile classroom to say we're accommodating them. So we had to clean the information. But now because we've got one ID number per learner, or one ID number of a parent, then we'll be in a position to know the numbers clean and don't have a major problem. We're approaching the 2:30, so my mind is also there whether indeed we are. So if you don't mind to allow me to just to be sure that everything is fine.
You'll follow and then maybe we'll run.
Yeah.
Okay, now your hands are shooting
Yes.
up.
So that's I want yes. So
Okay, Tando.
I have to connect with the programmers and be sure that indeed you are going live.
Tando.
Because there are things that I must sign off personally.
And
for
if
it
it's
to
a
go live.
follow-up,
Yeah.
are you confident that this time we won't experience what we experienced? What gives you that confidence? What are you
3
doing
things
this
that
time?
gives me confidence. I was at the data center. So our data is with top companies. So where we've got the data of major banks, our data is there. So that gives me that confidence. 2, the programmers, any best brain that we have in Gauteng that is in the programming industry, I called that brain to come and assist us. Just to ensure that reprogramming is right. And the last part, which is very, very important, was the issue of coordinates. Now that we have moved that part, there's no reason why we can't go live.
So, MEC, do you want to then go switch it on? And
No, the thing that I must personally give them the go ahead, because I get it, you have information, people have their ID numbers and other things, so I must protect that information. So it needs a personal sign off.
So I'm not just asking.
They can remain here and then we go there, I sign off and then it goes. Because until I sign it off, they can't go.
Yes.
Because it's waiting for me. Yes.
Yeah. Shall we allow the MEC to go switch it on?
Good luck.
Thank you. I need it. Eh?
How is it, Bianca?
Is he done now? Yeah. He's going to come back. I don't know. They're all getting different messages.
Okay.
The system is live.
Yeah, that's what is important.
Congratulations. But, okay, what about the error codes? Is that the glitches you were talking about?
Yeah, there will be minor glitches. Remember, every parent now is going on the system. We want 20,000. The reality is, the system is live, it's functional. There will be teething problems. I said the technical team must, remember these guys have not slept. So I said they must not sleep until 2 a.m. I'm going to join them after this, just to clear some teething problems.
Hello.
But those that doubted that will go live, will have capacity, they must come back and say, we are now live. And we are live. I've signed all the relevant things, because remember those that signed before, it was sending a message to say, the site you want to enter is not a trusted site. So I had to personally guarantee and deal with all those related matters. So after I've signed it off, then they put it up, then the system is live. So parents can now apply. They must now create their profiles. At the same time, after creating a profile, then go and apply. And after applying, it will send you an SMS to say that you have made that application. And then we'll then monitor all other, there will be glitches there and there, that I must assure you. I mean, it's a new system. There might be parents struggling with X. We have moved to a new, have we finalized that thing? The call
Yes,
center?
yes.
We've moved to a new
And it's
call
open
center.
until 8 today.
So we moved to a new call center that can take 150 people. So people then should call our call center if they are facing some problems.
It's open until 8 today.
So let me say we are ready.
18,000 now.
So 18,000 parents, I'm told, are now in the system.
Yeah. Okay, any more further questions? Yes.
Hi, good day to you, Mr. MC and your team. It's Kaya Kumale here from Kaya News. During your statement, you alluded to the looming lawsuits against you by some, concerned parents. Which areas are these where, there are these, people taking you to court? If you may just expand on that. Thank you.
Well, there's something called Coca-Cola Light. These are the light version of a racist, unfortunately. And I don't take them seriously. So I don't even want to waste my breath. I don't want to. The problem, people want to preserve the privileges of other groupings here. There are some people that don't want to queue. There are some people that were using their Bruce-Cup, their sisterhood, and people that knew them just to jump the queue and get in those things. Because those privileges will be gone. There will no longer be a human element. Everyone must apply online, and then if you qualify, you go through. But some people were using other indirect benefits to close out other people. You go to any school, especially if you are black, when you go, before you meet the receptionist, the attitude is say, don't come in. So that element is gone. There are some people that were refusing to give other people mere forms because they got the wrong skin color. We've removed that element. Everyone can apply. Because everyone can apply, those that glorified apartheid and those that benefit out of the color of their skin want to stop this process. And I'm saying, bring it on. Tell me which court will tell me if all children are treated equally, it's wrong. So they must bring it on. And they must not pretend that this thing is new. We went to the High Court on the same issue of online. They abandoned it there. Why are they bringing it now? Because they abandoned it last year when we went to court. We are going to the Constitutional Court on the 5th of May to determine indeed our admission regulations are correct or not. Why threaten me with admission regulations when we are still going to court for court to determine whether they are right or wrong? They're just excited. And I don't have time for people that are excited.
I think the lady next to you, and then Zikwana, your follower, or the gentleman next to your follower.
My question, hello MEC, my question was going to be about the court case. But you expanded on that, so it's fine. But can I just ask, on a completely different note, I was speaking to one of the parents downstairs that was protesting about it, and there was an old man saying that he's a senior citizen that doesn't have access, and he doesn't even have a smartphone. He has one of those Nokia 3310s. What is your response to specifically senior people of that age who might not even be able to walk for, what are you saying to them?
Before we introduced the online system, they were queuing at the school. So the solution is very simple. Go back to a nearest school, ask them to assist you to enroll online, they will assist you. We asked school to make sure that people can come to be assisted, those that are not connected. That's it.
So they can go to school.
The nearest school.
Yes.
Any school in Gauteng. We have dispatched how many 3G cards this morning? Yeah? 70 new laptops and 70 new 3G cards, so that we can go to the rural area of Gauteng, so that no one can say I'm excluded.
Next question. We'll come back.
Apiwa Boys from Kingston. You just mentioned that you got a deal with Vodacom. So in terms of figures, well, what is the deal?
No, we're still working. I don't know what's the deal. We acquired a SITA, which is a state agency, and they went to the service provider with his Vodacom so that he can assist us.
Okay.
It's just hosting. They're hosting it. The server is no longer with SITA with us. The server is with Vodacom. That's basically it. And we'll pay normal hosting cost of it. But the system didn't cost the state a cent. It was done in-house, Viva insourcing. So it was done in-house, and I want to thank those young men. I've given them an opportunity of a lifetime. They will fly. I know they were frustrated together with me early hours of this morning. This is the price we pay for this kind of things. Remember, we are entering uncharted waters, good people. No one has gone through where we've... and I know some MECs are now calling me to say, MEC, can we join you? And I say, welcome. I will hand it over free of charge to them. They don't have to pay a cent. So I paid the price because of the attacks that I'm receiving, the insult. I can show you the insult that I'm receiving. But it's worth it. It's worth it. It's like labor pains. I'm not a woman, but I'm told that those pains might be that difficult. But in the ultimate end, you'll be in a position to ensure that there is happiness. And there will be happiness to all parents. This will be fair. There's no human element in it and people that will tamper with it. There will be proper planning. There will be proper resource allocation. Our children will get a hot meal on day one of schooling. Because the problem is that those children that are getting school nutrition, you find the number of that school have increased by 25 learners. But we are still giving them money for 20 learners. So other learners, they go without eating. So with this system now, I know where I need to increase scholar transport. I know I need to increase school nutrition. I know where I need additional teachers. I know where I need additional mobile classroom. That's what we are trying to do here. And if we can get this right, all of us will be happy in Gauteng.
Okay, this just in. 5,035 parents actually applied in the first 10 minutes of the system going live. Zikona.
5,000?
5,035. This is faster than a queue at a school could process.
Yeah.
In the first 10 minutes.
First 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So they successfully applied.
Yes.
Yes, Zikona.
I could imagine if it didn't go live with you, I was going to
How many libraries are on board?
Averagely, there's two libraries in each township or rural area. Average.
Catherine?
I just want some clarity. You're saying there's not going to be first come, first serve. But let's say a school can take 400 grade 1s and there are 800 applicants. Now you're going to tell the other 400 kids or their parents they must go to school B and C. How do you tell you must go to B and you must go to A if there's no first come, first serve?
I take your point. So the officials will work out those things. Don't worry. Because remember, it's about siblings. If your sibling is there, there's no way that we can say go to another school. And it's also about whether we have been in that school before. So they'll work things that will clear the matters. As long as you've got 3 choices and they're closer to you, your child will be in a classroom next year. That's the bottom line, and that's very important. Remember, in the education system, we don't write regret letters. So there's no parent that will say, we regret that we can't place you. That will never happen. We'll place every child in one of our schools. It might not be the school of your choice. And I'm just excited that you are alive. That I'm excited, I must be honest. I was stressing.
Yes. Yes. Oh, Mangoba from SABC. MEC, there's been plan A, B, and C. Is there plan D? Should this also
Plan D is to get Moroka Swallows up and running as well. Let me be honest, there is indeed, we are on plan B now. Plan A was our system, now we're at plan B. We indeed have plan C and plan D. Plan C was just if in case Vodacom can accommodate, then we're decentralizing it into various other hosting agencies, and they were willing to host us. So I don't want to decommission that part because, I mean, if you've got almost 5,035 that registered within the first 10 minutes, it indicates the volume. And then remember, we still have the 1st of June as well, which is the final day. So you might find people that will want to wait for that day. So we indeed have plan C and plan D. And plan D, let me be honest and be frank with you, of which I was reluctant, but I accepted it. Plan D was to go back to paper. That was our plan D, if everything failed.
Karen?
I'm sorry but on the issue of the courts and people taking you to court. Will this have any impact on language and specifically with
nothing? That is why the problem with the people that are taking me to court is that they leave the negotiating table and create another negotiating table in the court. We met with them 4 times. We assured them on the issue of language. So the problem why they want to hide behind language is the only thing reasonable that they can cling on. They know they can't argue about other things, the color of the skin, which is the ultimate thing that they need. But language sounds nice. So, as I told you, I have no time for light racists. I don't have time for them. And I don't take them serious. You must tell them, I don't take them serious. I've ceased to take them serious. So whatever they want to do, I'll meet them in court on the 5th of May, and I can assure you, I'm going to clobber them and clobber them hard. So let's meet in court. I don't take them serious. They think court, they assume that when you go to court first, court will favor you. No, court is a neutral venue for all of us to raise our views. So it does not mean when you go to court first. So court is not a ho-ho. You can't scare me with a court. I'm not part of it. I'm not going to.
We'll take a last round. We'll take a last round and call this quick. Okay, Catherine, who else wants to answer? Yes, you want. Let's start with you.
Okay. Anything, despite the minor glitches, can you assure parents that the site won't crash anymore? So we won't be suspending the process anytime until June.
Firstly, people say the site will crash. Now that it's working, they say, assure us it won't crash. Let me tell you, as I said, you've got plan B, C, D. We are on B now, which is where we are hosted. So from there, we're going to, if something happens, then we'll go to C, which is decentralize the servers to if it happens, of which I doubt. There's this language that I like when I'm in an aeroplane. In the unlikelihood that the air pressure would. So in the unlikelihood that this thing crashes, then we'll go to plan D. But it won't. I'm confident. I took a tour of that site. It's not only us. As I say, major banks are also hosted there. And we've programmed the system that even though we've kept it at 20,000, if it reaches 15 and 16, we don't have to go back and reprogram it. It automatically gives us an extra space. So I don't think it will crash. But indeed, there will be minor glitches where, for example, you need a certain school to find, because the problem is that, let me give you one example. How many schools are Nelson Mandela schools that are named after Nelson Mandela? So you might say, I want Nelson Mandela, only to find that it gives you Nelson Mandela in Katlehong, whereas there is another Nelson Mandela in Sebokeng. So those are the minor glitches that I'm talking about, that we might still have them, but we'll reconfigure and sort them out. The technicians must remain. But generally, please appreciate, we're back, we're alive.
Catherine, you'll be the last one.
Can you say live? I've got 3 people tweeting me error messages. They got on the system and it says error occurred while processing this request, and then 2 people were told they've applied already, which they haven't. So they're obviously still glitches. What do you say to that?
Especially on those, they say the information already exists. Yeah, or you applied already. Reset the password, then if you reset the password, it will send you a token number. If it sends you a token number, you then update your details and then go to the application because it will note that you have changed your application. But those are the things I'm saying, the system problems. So those are really teething problems. The reality is that 5,000 people registered in the first 10 minutes. It means they went through. So those small ones, go to our call center. They will assist you and will be in a position to deal with it. That is why we say that people must not panic to say, because I didn't apply first, I will not get in first. So take your time, make an application, we'll sort out all these teething problems.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I need to call this to bring this to a close. I think any further questions you can ask me. Can you please release the MEC?
Please.
So, can you just give us just a short Zulu something for everyone here?
No, who will do it in I agree with it, it's very important.
It is very important.
It's very important.
Yeah, for the, yeah.
Ngithi masikhuluma manje isystem yethu yenza online application iyasebenza. So we'll ask parents ukuthi bahambe, abazali bahambe ba-apply. La banganama connectivity njengama internet, so bacela ukuthi baye ezikolweni zethu or baye kuma community library or Tusanong Center bacele ukuthi bafuna uku-apply because asanayo yonke le ukuthi umuntu apply eqala uyongenayo. Sinelento sibiza waiting list A and waiting list B. Mawuhlala duzana nesikolo noma uzo-apply kusasa or next week. If uhlala duzana nalesikolo leso uzokubeka kulesikolo leso, but kubalekile ukuthi abazali bahambe bayo-apply.
Iyaxolisa abazali.
Ithi ngixolise kubazali ukuthi sifike kule simo sikuso because ngokunento eziningi zetekniki that befanele sisilungise, but ngiyajabula ukuthi silungisile manje, but ngixolisa kakhulu ukuthi sibabeke kule simo bebakuso.
Yini okufanele ayenze manje umzali kusukela manje ungenze njani ukufika?
Ukusukela manje umzali if umntwana wakhe simnikeza i-tablet njengabazali abantwana sibanikeza ama-tablet, ucela umntwana ukuthi akufake ku www.gdeadmissions.gov.za and ufollow up ama-steps lapha bazo-admit. I know others have already said this GDE, what? Dead missions.
Okay, let's thank you guys. Thank you for the support.
I really appreciate good people. Going to pop that champagne.